What's up, Virgo? So we're going to uh, do a card, and this card was pulled from the Herbal Astrology Oracle deck, and this is going to be the description for that card, but then we'll do the actual reading, all right? And this card is ginseng with the subtext of magician, master manifester, boundless energy, potential, resourcefulness, expansion. Ginseng provides longevity and creative energy within each person. The shape of the root resembles a human figure, symbolic of its deeply restorative effect on the body and mind. Ginseng is likely the most studied herb in modern-day research, but long before North America was colonized, North American people used ginseng in medicine. Midewiwin, a group of Ojibwe spiritual leaders skilled in medicine, used the root for pain relief, digestive troubles, to calm the spirit, and as a poultice to staunch bleeding. The Meskwaki people of the Great Lakes region have used ginseng as an aphrodisiac and a panacea. In China, the hotter and more stimulating variety, Panax ginseng, has long been one of the most important herbs in traditional medicine. It is considered a life-prolonging cure-all. Like Uranus, ginseng's medicinal abilities are like a lightning bolt of pure energy to the nervous system, reviving our innermost recesses. Jupiter's influence allows it to strengthen our vitality, immune system, and general life force. As a primary adaptogen, it has a strong regulatory effect on our hormonal endocrine systems, being a tonic herb that gently calms and harmonizes the spirit. Another trait ginseng gets from Jupiter is the guidance portion. Ginseng, like the magician and the tarot, embodies the wizardry and brilliance. You are a master manifester. Now is the time to sow seeds to your dreams, to bring your intentions to fruition. The tools, skills, and wisdom you've gathered have led you to this moment. Ginseng's unique signature trait reminds you to keep a clear vision, consistently unmotivated by ego, status, money, and vanity, to manifest a deeply powerful and creative light in alignment with your higher self. Reverse ginseng reminds you not to fall into the trap of empty intentions just because of the obsessive focus on the end result. Deeply listen and realize the wizard within and act solely with intention for the greater good. Okay. Okay, I've got a few messages, but first off, this is the second card, actually. The first card was Valerian, right? So I'm going to refer you to Breaking Hexes, okay? Virgo Breaking Hexes. That was, I think, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, but it's called Virgo Breaking Hexes, and that's about Valerian. This is interesting for a few things. One, I'm going to also refer you to, if you like the idea, for instance, I got this idea when this came in my mind when I was actually reading this portion about this Native American tribe, or this group of a group of spiritual leaders that was skilled in medicine. And I thought, it's like, wow, that sounds really cool, and this idea and this concept around really guilds and tribes for this concept of the Renaissance that I'm talking about in the other channel. I'm gonna link that in the description, and you can also go to that and really just start to really understand this concept and maybe gain something else out of the concept that I'm talking about with the foundry in general. That's a rabbit hole. But the idea is that we're talking about guilds and tribes, and I really, really like the idea of specialized guilds and tribes. So just groups of groups of basically like third party local or third party organizations that just are basically the powerhouses of this particular society. And that was one of the things, and I really like the idea of this idea of spiritual leaders skilled in medicine being a part of that. So I'll refer you to that as well. But when it comes down to this idea of ginseng, and this is interesting because you have a card that is really built to, or that's really trying to tell you about an immense amount of potential, and I'm really wanting you guys to understand this idea of ginseng. You have a great energetic imprint, or a great potential for your energetic imprint, right? We won't say that you're naturally with that idea of energetic imprint, because for instance, you'll hear like particularly like if like in the community, as a black man, what I hear with a lot of mothers, they'll say, oh, he's a king and stuff like that. And this concept I think is misguided, and I will say you don't want to call someone a king, and when you realize that the crown may very well hold the weight to break someone's neck. So that's something that I always want to kind of, or not I always, I really will, when I gain that platform to talk, or that ability, and that not the ability but the opportunity to talk to someone about that, I'll definitely relay that message. But you hear that a lot, and that's something that you may really need to understand here, because your energetic imprint is very real, right? Regardless of what society says, and regardless of the societal intelligence, if you if you still have if you're holding societal intelligence on a pedestal for any reason, you should understand that our water is poisoned. like we're using fertilizers that poison the water in so many different cases. We have we're eating plastic. Like there's no there's a lot to pick at in terms of the idea of societal intelligence being held on a pedestal. There's definitely good things, though. There's definitely good things, but understand that just because society does not value something does not disregard what that thing is in any way. So the idea of your energetic imprint, you're not given a money amount. You're not given a dollar amount to maintain this energetic imprint. You're not given money to say, oh, this is your energetic imprint is so well, you're developing so finely. Like those things don't exist, right? But they have very real impact, and very real impact in a way that very much overlaps with the value system that exists in this world of the 3D, or in this 3D societal intelligence world, right? So what are you doing with this? How are you building it? I always tend to read the positive out of these cards. I always try to, the positive upright version of these cards when I read the description. I always skip over the reversed area. And this is brought here anyway. Like in terms of the description, brings this up anyway. Ginseng reminds you not to fall into the trap of empty intentions just because the obsessive focus on the end result. Um, what are you doing with your energetic imprint? What are you doing? Because if you are not following what is actually going on in your, when we look at who you are as a whole, um, the analogy, for instance, like if you continue living life based on how you're living today, the patterns that you have today, will you be on your deathbed proud of the stories that you have to tell, or will you simply realize that the cost of not following your dreams was actually much less than the cost of simply following along with everyone else and doing what was expected? That is a very real understanding that you need to have, because the potential is so solid and so set in stone in terms of what it could be. But this concept of who you are now, what you choose, what you may have chosen to hold on to, or what you may be choosing to hold on to, you need to realize that cost is much greater than the cost of not doing what you know you can do. And this is, and I say that with the way I say it, because this is a card that's symbolic of great power. And I am not somebody to just tell, like I said before, the idea of I'm not someone who's gonna tell a kid like, oh yeah, you're a king now, and knowing full well that the weight of a crown can break a neck. So you need to decide there where you're at, where you're going to be, in terms of in the future, the set of patterns, the patterns that you get into in the future. Will an alien be able to follow you around in your everyday actions, invisible, and be able to say and put together what it is that you really want to do, and be correct about how you assume yourself to be, or what you assume to be your dreams yourself? It's very much something that you need to be fully aware of, and in terms of your actions and your habits on an everyday basis. And I'm saying actions and habits for a very real reason, because the Virgo archetype is about actions and habits, more so the habits, the everyday life, the habitual patterns of a person. So that's gonna have a tremendous impact. So think about that, and where you're actually going to be, in terms of where how that person will see you, or how that entity can see you in the future if they follow you around. And in any case, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.